Marcus Chen stood in the briefing room, watching the holographic display show destroyed space stations. 3 mining facilities floated dead in space, their metal hulls twisted and torn. The alien council members around the table looked nervous. Their blue skin seemed paler than usual. "This creature must be stopped," said Council Leader Vex. His voice carried the clicking sounds that all Zephyrians made when they spoke. "It has killed hundreds of workers and destroyed billions of credits worth of equipment." Marcus studied the images more carefully. The damage patterns looked strange to him. Power cores were completely destroyed, but the living areas were mostly untouched. If this was really a monster that killed for food or fun, why would it target only the machinery? "What exactly are we dealing with?" Marcus asked. He kept his voice calm and professional. After 10 years as a bounty hunter, he had learned not to show doubt in front of clients. "We call it the Void Wraith," another council member said. This one was tall and thin, with gray skin that looked like stone. "It can change its shape and move through walls. Our psychic scanners cannot track it properly." Marcus nodded. That was why they hired humans for jobs like this. Most alien races could read minds and sense emotions from far away. But human brains worked differently. They were harder to track and much harder to control with mental powers. "It feeds on fear," Vex continued. "The few survivors we found were completely mad with terror. They kept saying the same thing over and over again." "What did they say?" "Help me. Someone help me." Vex's clicking sounds became faster. The creature must have some way to make people hear voices before it kills them. Marcus looked at the payment offer on his data pad. The number was very high, even for a dangerous job. Too high, maybe. When clients paid this much, they were usually hiding something important. "I'll need access to all your files on this creature," Marcus said. "Security footage, witness reports, everything." "Of course," Vex said quickly. "But time is important. We believe the Void Wraith is moving toward the Kepler sector. There are 12 more mining stations there, thousands of workers." Marcus gathered his equipment and returned to his ship. The Perseverance was old, but reliable. He had built most of its systems himself, using human technology that worked with mechanical parts instead of psychic energy. Other bounty hunters thought his ship was primitive, but Marcus knew it had advantages. As his ship moved through hyperspace toward the Kepler sector, Marcus studied the files. Something felt wrong about the whole situation. The attack patterns were too precise. The creature seemed to know exactly where to hit each station to cause maximum damage with minimum effort. Real monsters didn't think that way. They attacked with rage or hunger, not with careful planning. Marcus also noticed that all 3 destroyed stations had been working on classified projects. The files didn't say what kind of projects, but they required special security clearance. That was another strange detail. When he reached the Kepler sector, Marcus found the closest destroyed station. Kepler 7 was a large facility that had processed rare minerals. Now it tumbled slowly through space, dark and silent. Marcus docked his ship carefully and put on his environmental suit. The station still had atmosphere, but the life support systems were failing. He would have maybe 6 hours before the air became too dangerous to breathe. The corridors were empty and cold. Emergency lights cast red shadows on the walls. Marcus's boots made echoing sounds as he walked. His scanner showed faint biosigns coming from the lower levels of the station. As he went deeper, Marcus found more evidence that troubled him. The damage here was surgical, precise. Whoever, or whatever, had done this knew exactly how to disable a space station quickly and efficiently. He also found something else. In one corridor, there were scratch marks on the walls, but they weren't the kind of marks a monster would make. They looked like someone had been dragged, fighting to hold on to anything they could grab. Marcus followed his scanner toward the biosigns. The readings were getting stronger as he went down. Whatever was alive on this station was hiding in the deepest parts, far from the docking bays and escape pods. The scanner led him to a heavy door, marked with symbols he didn't recognize. The door was locked. But Marcus had tools for that problem. He attached a small explosive charge and stepped back. The door blew open with a loud bang that echoed through the empty station. Marcus stepped through the smoke, his weapon ready. What he found on the other side changed everything he thought he knew about this job. The room was large and filled with strange equipment. Banks of computers lined the walls, all showing data that Marcus couldn't read. In the center of the room were holding cells, with thick glass walls. Most of the cells were empty. But in one corner, Marcus saw movement. Someone was there. Someone alive. Marcus moved closer, his weapon still drawn but pointing down. As he got nearer, he could see more clearly. It wasn't a monster in the cell. It was a person. A woman sat on the floor of the holding cell, wearing torn clothes that might once have been a prison uniform. Her hair was long and tangled. When she heard Marcus's footsteps, she looked up. Her eyes were human eyes. Scared, desperate human eyes. "Please," she whispered. "Please, help me." Marcus stared at the woman in the cell. She was definitely human. But his scanner was showing readings that made no sense. Energy levels that should have killed any normal person. Genetic markers that belonged to 3 different alien species. "Who are you?" Marcus asked, keeping his weapon lowered but ready. "My name is Zara," she said. Her voice sounded normal, but there was something else underneath it. A harmonic that made Marcus's teeth ache. "Zara Williams. I was born on Earth Colony 7. Marcus knew that colony. It had been destroyed 2 years ago, in what the council called a mining accident. Everyone was supposed to be dead. "That's impossible," Marcus said. "Colony 7 was wiped out." "No," Zara said, and tears started running down her face. "We were taken. All of us. They said we were dead so no one would look for us." Marcus looked around the room more carefully. This wasn't a prison. It was a laboratory. The equipment was designed for biological experiments, the kind that were illegal under galactic law. "Who took you?" Marcus asked. "Council scientists," Zara said. "They wanted to study humans. They said we were too dangerous to be left alone, but too useful to simply kill." Marcus felt a cold anger building in his chest. He had worked for the Galactic Council for years, thinking they were the good guys. If what Zara was saying was true, then everything he believed was wrong. "What did they do to you?" Zara held up her hands. They looked normal at first, but as Marcus watched, they began to change. Her fingers grew longer, and her nails became sharp claws. Then they changed back to normal human hands. "They mixed my genes with other species," she said. "Zephyrian, for psychic abilities. Chronax, for physical strength. Veil Walker, for phase shifting through solid matter." "Phase shifting?" Marcus said. "You can walk through walls?" "Sometimes," Zara said. "When I'm scared or angry, I can't control it. The emotions trigger the alien parts of my brain." Marcus understood now. The Void Wraith wasn't a monster. It was Zara, using abilities she couldn't control to escape from the people who had tortured her. "The mining stations," Marcus said. "You destroyed them." "I had to," Zara said, and her voice broke. "They were experimenting on more humans. Children. Marcus. They had children in those cells." Marcus felt sick. The council had hired him to capture their own escaped test subject. They probably planned to kill him afterward, to keep the secret safe. "I tried to save them," Zara continued. "But every time I broke free, the neural implants would activate." She turned her head and pulled her hair aside. Marcus could see a small device attached to the base of her skull, its lights blinking slowly. "They can control you? When the implant activates, I become something else. I can't think clearly. I can only follow basic commands." Zara's hands were shaking now. "They made me destroy the evidence. Kill the witnesses. I never wanted to hurt anyone. Marcus stepped closer to the cell. How did you break free this time? The implant was damaged during the last mission. I've been hiding here, trying to figure out how to remove it without killing myself. Marcus examined the cell door. It was locked with both mechanical and electronic systems. The electronic lock was tied to the station's main computer, but the mechanical parts were simple enough. Stand back, Marcus said. He used his cutting tool to slice through the lock mechanism. The door swung open with a hiss of equalizing air pressure. Zara stepped out slowly, as if she couldn't believe she was really free. Then she grabbed Marcus's arm. You have to leave, she said urgently. The implant sends a signal when I'm not in a containment cell. They'll come looking for me. Who will come? Council enforcement. They have ships with psychic dampening fields and neural scramblers. They'll capture both of us. 40 said, and Marcus checked his scanner. Sure enough, he was detecting hyperspace signatures approaching the station. Multiple ships, moving fast. How long do we have? Marcus asked. Maybe 10 minutes. Marcus made a decision that would change his life forever. Instead of following orders and turning Zara over to the council, he chose to trust her. Can you make it to my ship? I think so. But Marcus, if they activate my implant remotely, I might not be able to control myself. I might hurt you. That's a chance I'll have to take, Marcus said. They ran through the corridors of the dying station. Zara moved differently than a normal human. Sometimes she seemed to flicker and fade, as if she was becoming transparent. Once, she passed completely through a closed door, instead of opening it. Sorry, she said when Marcus caught up. I told you I can't always control it. They reached Marcus's ship just as the council vessels dropped out of hyperspace. Marcus could see them on his long-range scanners. 6 ships, all armed with weapons designed to capture rather than destroy. Get on board, Marcus said. We're leaving. Where can we go? Zara asked as they strapped themselves into the ship's seats. They'll track us anywhere in council space. Marcus fired up his engines and launched the ship away from the station. Then, we'll have to go somewhere outside council space. The Rim territories are full of pirates and criminals. Good, Marcus said, setting a course for the Galactic Edge. Pirates don't ask questions as long as you pay them. No. As the Perseverance jumped into hyperspace, Marcus looked at Zara. She was crying again. But this time, she was also smiling. Thank you, she said. I never thought anyone would help me. We're not safe yet. Marcus warned. They'll keep hunting us. I know. But for the first time in 2 years, I'm not in a cage. Marcus nodded and focused on flying. He didn't know what they were going to do next, but he knew one thing for certain. He wasn't going to let the council hurt Zara again. Marcus's ship flew through hyperspace, while Zara told him the full story. What she revealed made Marcus's blood run cold. They started with small groups, Zara explained, maybe 20 or 30 humans at a time. They would stage accidents or pirate attacks to explain why we disappeared. Marcus listened while he checked their course. They were heading for a system called Haven's End, far from council territory. It was controlled by independent traders who didn't ask questions. The scientists were fascinated by human adaptability, Zara continued. Most alien species can only survive on planets very similar to their home worlds. But humans can live almost anywhere. That's not exactly a secret, Marcus said. No, but they wanted to know why. They studied our genetics, our brain structure, our immune systems. Then, they started experimenting. Zara pulled up data files on Marcus's computer. Her hybrid nature included cybernetic interfaces that let her connect directly to electronic systems. Look at this, she said. The files showed detailed records of genetic experiments. Hundreds of humans had been subjected to procedures that mixed their DNA with alien genetic material. Most of the subjects had died, The few who survived became something like Zara. They called us the Enhanced, Zara said. We were supposed to be super soldiers, stronger than humans, with alien abilities, but still mentally flexible enough to adapt to new situations. Marcus saw pictures of other enhanced subjects. Some looked almost normal. Others had been so changed that they barely looked human anymore. What happened to them? Most went insane. The alien genetic material and human consciousness don't mix well. The subjects would have episodes where they couldn't tell reality from hallucination. But you're still sane. Barely, Zara said with a bitter laugh. The neural implant helps stabilize my mind, but it also makes me controllable. Without it, I might lose myself completely. Marcus studied the implant through his ship's medical scanner. It was incredibly sophisticated, more advanced than anything he had seen before. Who designed this? A human scientist named Dr. Elizabeth Cross. She was captured during the Colony 7 raid. They forced her to work on the project by threatening to kill the other colonists. Is she still alive? I don't know. I was kept isolated from the other enhanced subjects. But Marcus, there's something else you need to see. Zara showed him a map of the galaxy with red dots marking locations. These are all the places where the Council has secret research facilities. They're not just experimenting on humans anymore. They're preparing for something bigger. Marcus counted the dots. There were over 50 of them. What kind of preparation? They're building an army, Zara said. The Council leaders are afraid that humanity is becoming too powerful. Human technology, human adaptability, human stubbornness. They think we're going to challenge their control of the galaxy. Are they right? Maybe. But that doesn't give them the right to do this. Marcus felt a vibration through the ship's hull. His sensors showed that they were being pulled out of hyperspace by an interdiction field. Council ships, Marcus said, checking his scanners. 3 vessels had positioned themselves along their escape route. They were sleek and dangerous, designed for capturing fugitives. How did they find us so fast? Marcus asked. Zara's face went pale. The implant. It must have a tracking function I didn't know about. The lead council ship sent a communication signal. Marcus accepted it, and the bridge screen showed Captain Vex, the same alien who had given Marcus his original mission. Commander Chen, Vex said, you will surrender the enhanced subject immediately. Her name is Zara. Marcus said, and she's not property. The subject is Council property. It was created using Council resources for Council purposes. She's a person, not a thing. Vex's blue skin darkened with anger. Humans always think they know better than their superiors. This is why the enhanced program is necessary. Your species lacks proper respect for authority. Marcus felt his own anger rising. Maybe that's because authority needs to be earned, not taken. You have 30 seconds to comply, or we will disable your ship and take the subject by force. Marcus cut the communication and turned to Zara. Can you access their computer systems? From here? The range is too far, and their ships have psychic shielding. What about if we get closer? Marcus, you can't fight 3 council ships with 1 old cargo hauler. Watch me. Marcus had spent years learning how to fight against superior enemies. The key was not trying to match their strengths, but using their weaknesses against them. Council ships were designed to fight other psychic species. Their weapons were optimized for disabling neural systems. Their shields protected against energy-based attacks. Their tactics relied on coordinated psychic communication between crew members. But Marcus's ship was purely mechanical. His weapons fired physical projectiles instead of energy beams. His shields were simple electromagnetic barriers. And his crew consisted of 2 humans who couldn't be psychically controlled. Marcus activated his weapon systems and accelerated toward the council ships. You're crazy, Zara said. Probably. The council ships fired first, sending streams of neural disruptor energy at the Perseverance. The beams passed harmlessly through Marcus's shields, designed to stop solid matter rather than psychic energy. Marcus returned fire with old-fashioned explosive missiles. The Council ship's shields flickered and failed. They weren't designed to stop physical impacts. Impossible, came Vex's voice over the radio. How are you penetrating our defenses? Human engineering, Marcus said, firing another volley. One of the Council ships exploded. The other two began evasive maneuvers. But their psychic coordination was useless against an enemy they couldn't mentally track. Marcus destroyed the second ship with a direct hit to its main reactor. The third ship tried to retreat, but Marcus had disabled its hyperspace drive. Zara, Marcus said, now would be a good time to try that hacking. Zara placed her hand on the ship's communication panel. Her eyes glowed with an alien light as she reached out with her enhanced abilities. I'm in, she said after a moment. Downloading their data files now. What they found in those files changed everything. The Council wasn't just experimenting on humans. They were planning to exterminate the entire human race and replace them with controllable, enhanced subjects. The operation was called Project Cleanup, and it was scheduled to begin in 3 months. Marcus looked at Zara. We have to warn people. How? Who's going to believe us? We'll make them believe, Marcus said. We're going to expose everything. Marcus worked frantically on his ship's communication system, while Zara downloaded files from the captured Council vessel. They had maybe an hour before more ships arrived to investigate the destroyed patrol. I need to remove this implant, Zara said, touching the device at the base of her skull. If they can track me, we'll never be safe. That's delicate surgery, Marcus said. One wrong move and it could kill you. If we don't remove it, Project Cleanup will kill billions of humans. I'd rather die trying to stop that. 12. Marcus understood. This was what humans did when faced with impossible choices. They found a third option. Let me look at it, Marcus said. He used his ship's medical scanner to examine the implant more closely. It was connected to Zara's nervous system in dozens of places. Removing it normally would require specialized surgical equipment they didn't have. But Marcus had learned to think differently than most people. Instead of trying to surgically remove the implant, what if they could overload it? Your enhanced abilities, Marcus said. They're partly controlled by the implant, right? Yes. It regulates how much of my alien genetics are active at any time. What happens if we force it to activate everything at once? I don't know. Probably, it would burn out from the overload. And what would happen to you? I might die. Or I might lose control completely and become a monster. Marcus nodded. Or you might become more powerful than they ever intended. Zara looked at him with surprise. You really think like a human, don't you? What do you mean? Most species would see this as a choice between certain death and probable death. Only humans would see it as an opportunity. Marcus began modifying his ship's power systems. If he could channel enough electrical energy through the implant, it might cause the feedback Zara needed. While he worked, they sent the stolen Council files to every communication network they could reach. Human colonies, alien news services, independent traders, even pirate groups. The truth about Project Cleanup spread across the galaxy faster than the Council could contain it. They're jamming our transmissions, Zara reported. Too late, Marcus said. The data is already out there. Marcus finished his modifications and connected a power cable to his ship's medical bay. This is going to hurt, he warned Zara. I've been hurt before. Zara lay down on the medical table while Marcus prepared the electrical discharge. His hands were steady, but his heart was racing. If this went wrong, he would kill the first person he had truly wanted to help in years. Marcus, Zara said quietly, if I lose control, if I become something dangerous, you have to stop me. That won't happen. Promise me. If I become a monster, you'll do what needs to be done. Marcus looked into her eyes. I promise. He activated the electrical discharge, Zara screamed as energy flowed through the implant into her nervous system. Her body convulsed on the table, and Marcus could see her genetic modifications activating all at once. Her skin rippled and changed color. Her muscles bulged with Kronak's strength. Her eyes glowed with Zephyrian psychic energy. She became partially transparent as Veil Walker genetics let her phase between dimensions. The implant sparked and smoked, its lights flashing wildly before going dark forever. Zara's screaming stopped. She lay still on the table, breathing heavily. "Zara, can you hear me?" Her eyes opened. They were still glowing, but with a gentle light now, instead of the harsh glare from before. "I can hear everything," she said in wonder. Radio signals from across the galaxy, psychic conversations between alien crew members, the quantum fluctuations of hyperspace itself. "Are you okay?" "Better than okay." Zara sat up and looked at her hands. They flickered between human and alien appearances, but now she was controlling the changes. "I can feel all the genetic modifications, but they're not fighting each other anymore. They're working together." "So you're stable?" "More than stable. I'm enhanced in ways the Council never imagined." They tried to create a controllable super soldier. Instead, they created something new. Marcus's sensors detected ships approaching. "A lot of ships." "Council reinforcements?" Zara asked. Marcus checked his readings. "No. These are human vessels." The communication panel lit up with signals from across human space. Colony defense fleets, merchant marines, even some of the independent human pirates had formed a temporary alliance. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Colonial Defense Force," came a voice over the radio. "Commander Marcus Chen, we received your transmission about Project Cleanup. We're here to help." Marcus smiled. Admiral Chen was his sister, and she commanded the largest human fleet in the outer colonies. "Good timing, Sarah. We've got company coming." "We know." Council ships are mobilizing across the galaxy. "But Marcus, you need to see what's happening on Earth." The communication screen showed images from Earth's orbital stations. Thousands of ships were launching, carrying humans toward the galaxy's outer regions. "They're evacuating?" Marcus asked. "Not evacuating, spreading out. Human colonies are declaring independence from Council authority. We're forming our own government, our own alliance." Marcus felt pride swelling in his chest. This was what humans did when threatened. They didn't surrender or hide. They fought back, and they did it together. "What about the other enhanced subjects?" Zara asked. "There are dozens of them in Council facilities. We're organizing rescue missions," Admiral Chen said. "But we need someone who can find them and get through Council security." Marcus looked at Zara. "Think you're up for some rescue missions?" "With these new abilities?" Zara smiled, and her enhanced senses let her see the quantum structure of space itself. "I think I can manage." More ships appeared on Marcus's scanners. Council vessels, moving to intercept the human fleets. "Here they come," Marcus said. "Let them come," Zara said. "It's time to show them what enhanced humans can really do." The battle that followed became known as the Freedom War. Council fleets arrived expecting to face primitive human ships with simple weapons. Instead, they found something they had never encountered before. Zara used her enhanced abilities to phase through Council ship hulls and disable their systems from the inside. Her psychic powers let her communicate instantly with human commanders across the battlefield. Her Kronak's strength allowed her to tear apart enemy equipment with her bare hands. But more importantly, she could sense the other enhanced subjects imprisoned on Council ships. "There," she said, pointing at a massive Council dreadnought. 12 enhanced humans in the lower decks. They're being held in neural suppression fields. Marcus guided their ship toward the dreadnought, while Admiral Chen's fleet engaged the Council escorts. The battle was fierce, but human adaptability and determination were winning against alien technology and psychic coordination. "I'm going aboard," Zara said. "That's suicide." The ship has thousands of crew members. Not anymore. Zara phased through the hull of Marcus's ship and appeared inside the Council dreadnought. Her enhanced senses let her navigate through the corridors without being detected. When Council soldiers tried to stop her, she moved too fast for them to track. She found the enhanced subjects in a heavily guarded laboratory section. They were all unconscious, kept sedated to prevent them from using their abilities. Zara disabled the neural suppression fields and began waking the other enhanced humans. As they regained consciousness, she could see the same mixture of hope and fear that she had felt when Marcus found her. "Who are you?" asked a woman, with silver hair and eyes that glowed like stars. "My name is Zara. I was like you. But I'm free now, and I'm here to free you too." "Free?" said a man whose skin had the rocky texture of Kronak's genetics. "They told us we were monsters, that we could never be around normal people." "They lied," Zara said. "We're not monsters. We're something new. Something better than what they tried to make us." Together, the 13 enhanced subjects took control of the Council dreadnought. Their combined abilities made them unstoppable. They turned the ship's weapons against the rest of the Council fleet. Meanwhile, Marcus coordinated the human forces from his command ship. His sister's fleet had been joined by ships from dozens of human colonies. Even the normally independent human pirates were fighting alongside the colonial defense forces. "Marcus," came Admiral Chen's voice over the radio, "we're receiving surrender requests from some of the Council ships. What do you want to do?" Marcus thought about everything the Council had done. The experiments, the murders, the plan to exterminate humanity. Part of him wanted revenge. But that wasn't what humans did. That wasn't what made them special. "Accept their surrender," Marcus said, "but only if they release all human prisoners and provide full information about other research facilities." The battle ended with humanity's victory, but the war was just beginning. Across the galaxy, human colonies declared independence from Council rule. The enhanced subjects used their abilities to help rescue other prisoners and expose Council crimes. 6 months later, Marcus and Zara stood on the bridge of their ship, approaching another Council research facility. They had become partners in more ways than one, leading rescue missions throughout the galaxy. 15 enhanced humans in this facility, Zara reported, her psychic senses penetrating the station's defenses. Plus about 30 normal human prisoners. "Same plan as always?" Marcus asked. "I go in, disable their defenses. You follow with the rescue team." Marcus nodded. They had rescued over 200 enhanced subjects and thousands of normal human prisoners. Each rescue made the human alliance stronger and the Council weaker. "Zara," Marcus said as she prepared to phase through the station's hull, "be careful." She smiled at him. "Always am." Marcus watched her disappear through solid matter and reappear inside the enemy station. On his scanner, he could track her progress as she moved through the corridors, freeing prisoners and disabling security systems. Within an hour, the station was under human control. The prisoners were safe, and more evidence of Council crimes was in human hands. As they flew away from the captured station, Marcus received a message from Earth. The new human alliance had been officially recognized by 12 major alien governments. The Council was being forced to answer for their crimes in Galactic Court. "We did it," Zara said, reading the message over his shoulder. "Humanity is free." "This group is free," Marcus corrected. "There are still thousands of humans in Council territory. The war isn't over." "Maybe not," Zara agreed. "What's that?" "That humans don't give up. Ever. When someone tries to make us into slaves or weapons, we become something else entirely." Marcus looked out at the stars, where human ships now flew freely under their own flag. "What do we become?" Zara took his hand. Her enhanced abilities, letting her sense his emotions directly. "We become ourselves. The best version of ourselves. The Perseverance jumped into hyperspace, carrying them toward their next mission. Behind them, newly freed humans worked to contact their families and rebuild their lives. Ahead of them, more prisoners waited for rescue. Marcus Chen had been sent to capture a monster. Instead, he had found a woman who begged to be free. In freeing her, he had helped free all of humanity from a threat they never knew existed. The enhanced subjects were no longer weapons or prisoners. They were people, using their abilities to protect others and build a better future. And across the galaxy, humans continued to do what they did best. They adapted, they survived, and they never stopped fighting for what was right. The Council had tried to control humanity by creating super soldiers. Instead, they had created something much more dangerous to their rule. They had created hope.